Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of RC Classic Garage. Today you join me where we're back on the Alfa Romeo 1750 GTV. And in this episode, we'll start by doing the annual service. We will also try a recommended solution for the second gear synchro. And we will also give the interior plastic a refresh, as well as the steering wheel as we get the car ready for the show season. So let's start off by giving the car its annual service. Now this car is running an electronic 123 distributor, so we'll be changing the plugs and the fluids in the car. So although these plugs have not done much mileage, I like to change the spark plugs every year with the annual service. So with the 4 spark plugs changed, it's now time to move on to the oil. So a pretty simple process by removing the drain plug. Just watch for that oil coming out onto your hands. Remove the oil filter canister housing. Remove the old filter and clean out the canister so that it's ready to take the new filter. Once clean, add a bit of new oil, drop in a new filter and put it back into place. Once the old oil has finished draining from the engine, put a new crush washer onto the drain plug and put the drain plug back in. And then put 6.6 litres of 20 W50 classic oil back into the engine. Next we move on to the coolant and we remove the bottom coolant hose. And we let all the current coolant drain out of the system and give it a flush out. We reattach the bottom hose and tighten that up and then fill up the coolant once again. And then run the motor, circulating the new coolant through the system, but also checking for any leaks. And once it's had a chance to circulate and all looks good, just a final top up of the system. Now this Alfa Romeo has a very common problem that a lot of these Alfa 105 series suffer from. And that's when you change into second gear, you can hear the gearbox crunch. And that's the synchro mesh on the second gear. Take a listen. Now as I said, that's a common fault with these 105 series cars. And if you learn how to change gears very slowly, you don't hear the crunching noise. So I'm not going to do a gearbox rebuild at this stage because my car does not need a new clutch. However, reading some of the Alfa websites, what they have said is if you put a very good oil into the gearbox, it does make a difference. And the recommended oil was this Redline 75W90. Now I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I thought it's worth a try. So I'll be changing the gearbox oil and let's see if it makes a difference. Now on these Alfa gearboxes, you have 2 plugs, one being a filling plug and one being a drain plug. Now always start with the top filling plug and get that out first, because if you drain your oil and you can't get your filling plug out, you have a problem. So now it's on to drain plug out. And once all the oil has drained out, put the drain plug back in and top up the gearbox with 1.8 litres of oil. And taking the car out for a test drive, I can definitely see there's an improvement. It's not perfect, but there is a vast improvement. Now the next job I want to get onto is the plastic trim inside the car. Now this has definitely seen better days, and these plastic trims are readily available from any store like Classic Alfa. So first job is to remove the steering wheel. And then you can just see how bad this plastic shroud is. There are broken fixings, and you can see it's also all bent out of shape. And I would imagine, given the broken fixings, someone's had a real go at trying to secure this in the past. So we'll go about getting this one off, remove this from the car, and replace it. And you can see just how bad this is, and someone's had a go at trying to fix it in the past. And while the steering and shroud are off, this is a good chance to get to the gauges and give them a good clean. So as I mentioned before, you can buy these new from many Alfa specialists. And the process of fitting this is just the reverse of taking it off. And then while I have the steering wheel off, I might as well sand it and give it a fresh coat of varnish. And after 3 or 4 coats of the varnish, it actually looks pretty good. And then fit the steering wheel back to the car. And overall, very big improvement. And then again, likewise, on the armrests, the plastic pieces over time have really suffered. So let's go about changing them. And a fairly simple process, but yet again, when on the car, makes a big difference. So with the plastic moldings on the armrests, as well as the steering replaced, the interior is looking really good. I also took this opportunity to bind 2 new leather covers for the rear wheel arches. Thank you all for watching another episode of RC Classic Garage. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you all next time.